I don't even remember what position I applied for at your company. I really don't know why I'm here. Hi, I'm Shauna Cole, and this is Career Interrupted. So that actually happened. This guy in an interview could not even remember what position he had applied for. So like, way to impress the hiring team, dude. The moral of the story, don't be that guy. That's why you're here though. We're gonna get you a totally organized job search so you don't end up in an interview setting going like, what posting is this in response to? Or maybe even worse, miss the interview. Online applications, LinkedIn messaging, I've applied at this job board and this job board, I have an interview here, and okay, job search can be completely overwhelming. And it can get disorderly if you don't have control over your situation. You could end up missing a key deadline, an interview, or that really important email address. We're not gonna let this happen to you. Today, we're gonna go through the ways that you're gonna create a completely organized job search. If you find this video helpful, please be sure to subscribe to my channel and give it a thumbs up. Planning your job search is going to be key to your job search success. So today I'm going to walk you through 4 steps to a completely organized job search. Set clear goals. Absolute worst thing that you can do when it comes to job search is to create a really generic resume, blast it out to like 200 open positions on the job board, and then kind of like peace out and hope for the best. No, that is not an effective job search approach. A much more effective approach is to start with the end in mind. So know what your desired career path is and work back from there. Where are you today in terms of that career path? And with that end in mind, what types of positions do you need to target? Once you start setting clear goals, you can align all the activities that you're doing to achieve those goals, and then you're much more likely to receive them. If you are sending out 100 or 200 or 400 job applications, it's telling you something. You are missing a clear goal. You don't know what your path is if you're randomly applying to everything. You've got to have goals so you can screen out what's not relevant and apply for the roles that are. Make sure to stay to the end of this video where I'm going to show you how you can actually start to track your progress in a really, really intentional way. If you're finding this video helpful, please be sure to subscribe. Create a schedule. So job search can be really, really time consuming. This is really true if you're already in a job and you're working full time and you've got other commitments. So how do you start to carve out time for the job search? Well, if you've got a goal in mind, you're in a much better situation to define the tasks related to that goal. So start by saying, I'm going to spend an hour a day working on my job search. So that's going to include things like updating your resume, sending out those applications, redoing cover letters, doing follow-up, and so on. If you're not currently employed, I'd encourage you to devote more time to your job search. So this could look something like carving out 2 or 3 hours a day, getting really, really intentional about the resume and cover letter, for example, making sure you've got them really, really refined and aligned with the jobs that you are targeting. Making sure that you're spending more time surfing the job boards, doing research online, understanding what's happening in the market, even preparing for interviews if you don't have them lined up. Whatever the case, create a schedule that supports the goals that you have outlined for yourself. Limit your applications. So many people think like, I'm going to increase my odds by sending out more job applications. I really want to caution you around this approach. Like I said, if you're sending out hundreds of job applications, which candidates often do, I'd encourage you to do a check and say, do you know what your goals are? Because if you're applying to everything and anything, you probably don't have clear line of sight as to what you want. Your career is going to be much more successful and you're going to be much more fulfilled if you know what you actually want to achieve before you start applying. On top of this, I can still remember this case back in my corporate days where we had this candidate who had applied to something like 100 job postings. So you could see she was applying to everything from finance to customer service to human resources. It made no sense. As a recruiter, myself and other recruiters, we could see all of her job postings. She got screened out all of her job applications rather. She gets screened out every single time because the signal it was sending to the recruitment team was, dude has no idea what she actually wants to do. So it was a really, really ineffective approach. You're also gonna feel extremely disorganized if you're sending out hundreds of job applications. We should be doing a proper follow-up on those applications. We should be tracking our progress in the process. That's gonna be really, really difficult to do if you've got hundreds of applications out there in the world. You're gonna do a much better job at managing the processes and managing your applications if you've got a limited number of applications that are actually aligned to your desired career path. Track every single application. So create yourself either a job search binder where you're tracking everything on paper, get yourself a nice notebook or start a spreadsheet, whatever works for you and feels right for you. The objective of tracking your applications is really so you don't end up like dude in the interview process that's saying I don't know why I'm here. It is possible that you apply for a job today and you might not, hear back from that employer until 6 months from now. When that employer calls you, are you gonna remember the details of that job posting? Probably not. So the best favor that you can do yourself is really to capture the details of that job posting in whatever format works for you, so that when that employer calls, you can actually go back and say, hey, I know exactly what they're talking about, not wing it and hope for the best and try to figure it out in the job interview. Because what if the employer doesn't clearly state what role you're interviewing for? What if they assume that it was, one posting that you applied to and they know what they're talking about? So just be aware of that and capture all the relevant information accordingly. A great practice for an organized job search is to track every single application that you submit in a spreadsheet. So track every single application, where you're at in the process, capture key notes. Maybe you had a correspondence with someone from the company. Capture notes around that. Once you've got all the information in a central spot, you're gonna feel much more in control of the situation. You're gonna be much more prepared going through a process. You're gonna have line of sight to follow up. It's a really, really great practice to have all the details of your applications captured in a single location. A job search process in itself can be completely overwhelming. Combine that with multiple applications, applying online, applying in person, applying on LinkedIn, applying all over the place. It can be really, really hard to keep track and have a clear handle on where you're at in the process. We know in business that KPIs typically drive results. So know what your KPIs are when it comes to your job search. Do you want to nail an interview within the next couple of months? Couple of weeks? Maybe not days, because we want to be reasonable. So think about what those key performance indicators could be for you. The only reasonable way to track your progress against those performance indicators is to literally track your progress in some sort of tangible way. Having an organized job search is gonna help you to stand out from other candidates because you're gonna know what's up all the time. You're gonna know who the key people are in the process. You're gonna know where you're at in the process, if you followed up or not, and you're gonna be able to meet or exceed every single deadline that's given to you by an employer. Having a completely organized job search is gonna give you much more confidence and a sense of control over the search process itself, which can be stressful and uncertain. Dude who was like, I don't even know why I'm here, ha ha ha, was perhaps trying to be cute or funny, but I'm sorry, like, way to not impress the hiring team by not having your act together. Don't let this be you. Know why you're there, know where you're at in the process every single time. When it comes to job search, do you have any tips on how to stay really, really organized? If you do, share them in the comments. Good luck with your job search. Keep it completely organized. Thanks so much for watching. Yes,